From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Today is Thursday. It's the middle of September, September 15th, 2016, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And where are we, Pat?
We are at Stony Creek Park.
Oh, yeah, Stony Creek. That's why all these trees are out here, right?
Yeah.
Nice. This is a beautiful place. It's at the bottom of the hill, if you will, on East Ash Street in Goldsboro. It's a fantastic place to come, just kind of kick back. Walking trails, there's a dog park over there, there's restrooms, there's a volleyball net, and it's just a great place to spend time. And we're here in front of the butterfly garden, which is behind us. Of course, it's the end of the season, so we don't see a lot of butterflies right now. But in springtime, that place is really hopping with butterflies.
It's really fluttering.
They flutter. They do. The flutter butterflies. What are you holding in your hand there? Tell me about that.
The Wayne County Chamber is having a US 70 Goldsboro bypass signage meeting. It is the NCDOT 70 bypass highway signage meeting. It will be held on Monday, September the 26th from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. at the Goldsboro Event Center, which is at 1501 South Slocum Street. Please RSVP to the Wayne County Chamber at 734-2241, or you can email Linda at lindam@waynecountychamber.com. Got that?
I got it. That's great. That's great. And the Community Soup Kitchen of Goldsboro will benefit from the next Really Chilly Challenge. That's coming up October 22nd, October the 2-2 at the John Street parking lot downtown Goldsboro. That's between John and Center Street. The John Street parking lot, that's where they have the Center Street jams, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, anyway, that's coming up on the 22nd, and you can go and enjoy and have a good time, but if you want to sample these chilies, it costs you $5. That's it, and you can sample everything. If you want to become a participant in the Really Chilly Challenge on October the 2-2 at the John Street parking lot, it only costs you your whole team $75. Entry forms and information are available at communitysoupkitchen.org. communitysoupkitchen.org. Go there. And we need to get Darisha on here. We're going to talk to Darisha about this, okay, about the Really Chilly Challenge. You have any questions, you can actually make a phone call, 919-731-3939, 731-3939. And again, mark that on your calendar, October 22nd. All right? All right. Okay, what else do we have here? Got stuff.
Don't forget the Wayne Regional Agriculture Fair is coming up.
Woo, yeah.
The days are counting down.
Days are counting down now. Today's the 15th, and the fair starts, I believe, on the 29th,
29th,
right?
that's
on the
right.
29th, and it goes for 10 days. 10. Lots of fun. Of course, the Powers Midway is one of the finest in the nation, and those guys actually come through here before they head off to the state fair. Those are the rides at the state fair, so they come here first, and you know that these guys are safe. State of North Carolina inspects all the rides before they even start up at a county fair here in Wayne County. And if there's a bolt that's loose, if there's a washer not in place, they don't start. We have one of the best safety records here in Wayne County, one of the best. Now in Raleigh a couple of years ago they had some issues, but the rides that were faulty were not of the Powers rides. Those were outside rides that came in as third party. But here in Wayne County, these are very safe rides. You won't have any problems with them. So ride your little heart out there, okay? And have a good old time. The Wayne Fair. And one of the things I love about the fair is, believe it or not, I love the fair food. Woo, and it's more than fair. It is fantastic. Because you got your good, you got fair, good, better, best, right?
Right.
Right. And this fair food is better than fair. It's fair. This fair food is fine. fair food. Finally. Okay, this week the shelter, Wayne County Animal Adoption and Education Center could not pick one dog or one cat for Pet of the Week. They picked them all. They're all Pets of the Week. In the effort to control population and reduce the amount of homeless pets in the Wayne Animal Adoption and Education Center, the center has upgraded the adoption process. Now, this is great news for everybody, including the animals. Now, all adult dogs and cats that are adopted now are being fixed by a veterinarian. They are. The adoption fee still is only $60, and that includes the shots. That includes the microchip. That includes being tested for heartworms. That includes being given all vaccines, including a 1-year rabies vaccine. That's all included. They're now open every Saturday, not just every other, but every Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Adoption only.
For adoptions only. And that's all. You can't bring anything in, but you can take them out. All right? And it says here they look forward to helping you and your family find a dog or a cat that just might change your life, including your dog or cat. Right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. Let's see now. Today's the 15th. And tonight at the American Legion Post 11 on Highway 117 South, there just south of the fairgrounds, American Legion Post will have their meeting tonight at 7:30. That's at 7:30 at the Post on 117 South. Now, Sunday, Military Retirees Club meeting, Sunday, not Sunday, Saturday, the 17th. Military Retirees Club meeting at 3 o'clock at the East Mulberry Street location. That's the DAV office at 212 East Mulberry. And on the same day, Saturday, they will be placing crosses in memory of the 41 North Carolina service members, MIAs, in Vietnam. That'll be at 11 o'clock at 786 Perkins Road in Pikeville. That'll be placement of a cross in memory of the 41 North Carolina service members missing in action in Vietnam. That will begin at 11 o'clock, and the address is 786 Perkins Road in Pikeville. All right, that's Saturday. Well, guess who's on our program today?
Who's on our program?
We have talked about Shelton Smith.
Yes.
Shelton Smith was the Buildings and Grounds Supervisor, Director person who took care of the Wayne County Buildings and Grounds for many years. I think he was there for 25 years. He started in 1969. 25 years later, he retired. And today's program features Shelton Smith talking about a book he has written. He wrote the book entitled Wayne the Bell. And the other night at the Wayne County Public Library, he presented a program of the book. He read the book to the audience. And the audience, it was a good audience there, too. There were several people there, youngsters as well. The book is intended for children, but I found the book rather interesting myself. Of course, I have the brain of a child, but that's beside the point. But it's a neat book. It's a great gift for a youngster, and it describes the history, not only a little history of Wayne County, but the history of the Bell as well. So we're going to go to our interview now. Well, it's not really an interview. It's a program that Shelton Smith gave at the Wayne County Public Library just the other night about Wayne the Bell. That's up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Good evening, ladies and little boys and little girls and big girls and little boys. What a pleasure it is to see your faces. Those smiling, they are larger than mine. Glad to see each one of you. And I'm hoping that the little story I'm going to tell you about, that you'll remember. When you get about as old as I am, you still know about it. Let me ask the children under 10 or 12 one little question. Were you born in Wayne County? If you were, hold your hand up. Okay. Well, what we're going to study about is really nothing but history. It's not a local history. and I hope you enjoy it. I have a son-in-law, which I consider now, he's a good manager, so he would manage anybody. So he's just back overseeing, looking. We have some books, and if you'll be interested, he'll be glad to talk with you. So what I would like to do, you know what I'm going to talk about because she's already told you. We're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? I want, especially you children, because you children are a little bit special than we are because we're a little bit older. But I want you to remember, keep your eye on the bell. What is the bell's name?
Wayne.
Wayne. Hello. My name is Wayne. Do you know why I named him Wayne? Wayne County. He was born here in Wayne County. And he's been here a long, long time. He's going to be here when you get old as Mom and Daddy, and you can go up and look at him. Said, Ma, you are good shape for the shape you in. So just always, while I'm doing my little talking, I want you to keep your mind on what we're talking about in the bell. We're talking about Wayne, okay? I'm going to put this, if I may. I don't want it to fall. Maybe it'll stay there. And when I'm talking, you have a chance many times over to read the book, but I want to read it to you. Thank you, Shug. You're so sweet. And while we were talking, if any of you, I won't say children, any of you have any questions, that would probably be a good time to call my attention to it, because a little later I may forget what we're talking about. Anyway, there's one thing I want to point out about the courthouse before I even get started. This faces Walnut Street, which now's got the Doughboy statue. In 1913, they didn't have a statue. And if you look, I haven't got a yardstick, but if you look to the right, you'll see something. It's a White House. Ormond Avenue wasn't there in 1913. There was a White House. Farmers, we took our cotton here and sold it. The buyers would gather and buy it from us. But later on, the land was donated to the city, and they put a street in and named it Ormond. And on the book, you can see it. But remind you, I said 1913 when it was built. Before it was occupied, if you get the book, you look close, in one of those windows, you'll see a guy in there washing the windows, getting it ready to move in. So we'll begin. Hello, my name is Wayne. In case you haven't noticed, what am I? A bell. But I'm not just any bell. Oh no, I'm a special. All of you are special. Were you a bell or whatever you may be, you are special. I live a fascinating life. And here's my story. I told you at the beginning that this book was full of history. And you may have studied some of this already in school. On July the 4th, 1776, America declared her independence from England and became a nation. Exactly 75 years later, in 1851, my life bail began. I was cast from very hot molten liquid called steel. In the year of my birth, America had just 31 stars in the flag and 31 stars in Old Glory. They had 31 states. And she's illustrating some of it there. Thank you. The municipality of Goldsboro, North Carolina was incorporated on January the 18th, 1847. And shortly thereafter, newly elected Wayne County leaders decided, hey, we need a courthouse in Goldsboro, which was the seat of the county government. Shortly after, the county purchased 4 acres of land where the courthouse was staying. Construction began, and Wayne County's first courthouse was completed in 1850. That's the picture of the old courthouse. See, it has a bell in it. Okay. Around that time, in keeping with the tradition of the time, organizers decided a bell should grace the new courthouse. And how graceful it looks in that bell tower. After some searching in 1851, I was purchased from Neely Bells, a family-owned foundry that had been making bells in West Troy, New York, since 1826. And there's a picture of the illustrated factory and the owner. While I was being created in preparation for my arrival, County Fires built a wooden bell tower where I would be mounted after traveling a great distance from the state of New York to Wayne County, North Carolina. And let me insert this. There was a lady working at the courthouse told me, she was elderly when I went there, that her father helped build that wooden bell tower. I arrived from New York by train to my new home in downtown Goldsboro in 1851. I began proudly serving the citizens of Wayne County. I felt important. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you feel important? Yeah. The city of Goldsboro was a fascinating place to grow up and even grow old. From 1851 until 1912, I watched as the world around me changed. Technology changed. People changed. Buildings changed. Like me, they were all getting old. And I think I can insert this. You see the streetcar? I've had quite a few questions. Shelton, is this in order? I said, honey, you were just born way too late. They used to run all over Goldsboro. So they did. In some places at intersections, the rails are still there, existing where the asphalt is worn off. Some of the rails are still where you can see them. The city of Goldsboro, the county of Wayne, and the state of North Carolina, it was a delightful place. It was a growing, thriving, it was a great place to raise a family. Shop, boy, is it a great place to eat and enjoy wonderful friends and just be an American during good times. And you can see the illustrated picture there. Busy, you see a lot of people. I remember as a kid that I couldn't find my father walking down John Street on Saturday. There were so many people. But But it'll get back there one of these days, time you get a little bit older. Back to the story. By 1912, the old, worn-out original courthouse had to be torn down to make way for a new courthouse. I was afraid. Where would I go? But thoughtful planners relocated me to the county health building, where I lived very comfortably until 1913. In that period of time, the health department was in an old building there on Chestnut and Ormond Avenue, and the bell was placed on the ground out behind it. So that was 1913. After more than a year living in the county health building, construction of the new courthouse was completed. And it was a beauty, a majestic structure with large windows, tall columns. It was the finest building I had ever seen. Shortly before the new courthouse doors opened for business, I was once again placed high up in a bell tower behind the existing courthouse now, where I was happy and content. I was certain I had found a new and safe home forever. Well, even an old bell knows nothing is forever. For 41 years, I was rung often and served Goldsboro with pride. But in 1954, Wayne County leaders decided the old new courthouse just wasn't big enough. They started to build an annex, and once again, I was in the way. Patiently, I watched the new addition take shape. And when it was completed, it contained offices, a jail, and even living quarters for the jailer. Some of you may remember before we tore the jail down, there used to be a magistrate office. When the building was built, that was the jailer's living quarters, living room, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, and then later on he moved out. I was pleased, but still without a new home, I began to feel a bit overlooked. And there's the picture of the jail interior. Lucky for me, that didn't last long because the brand new courthouse annex had a fascinating bit of new technology that I had never seen before. It had an elevator with a very tall elevator shaft leading up above the roof. On that roof, set an equipment support building for the elevator where I was located. Boy, did that make me happy being up nice and high where I could get a good look at all of our fine county and keep a watchful eye on the judges and the lawyers and the people out under the trees doing their business and all of the important things going on. Once again, I was helping citizens understand what was going on in our great county. You see, this was the time in our history when the sheriff's office was located in the courthouse, access from the west side to the first floor, entrance on the building on the west side. In those days, the courthouse had no air conditioning. You just had to use a fan or whatever you could. So windows in the sheriff's office was raised, open for ventilation. You can see them trying to get some good fresh air there. In a manner typical of the ingenious men and women of Wayne County Sheriff's Office, a rope was tied to me. I've rang loudly each day to signal when court was in session, and again at the end of the day when court had adjourned. I felt special. I was making a difference. He was really making a difference, but at least that's what I thought until 1990, when once again change reared its head to keep up with the tremendous growth of our county. Elected officials decided they needed to build yet another new courthouse annex. Planners went to work designing this great new building. I knew the old annex had to come down, and once again in the 139 years since my creation in New York, my livelihood was threatened. They turned the building down. Where would I go? Before the local construction company began to demolish the old annex, I was loaded into a truck with the help of a nearby backhoe. I was dizzily whisked away on a short journey to the county's warehouse, where I was unloaded and stored, all under the safe, watchful eye of Building and Grounds Department. During my time at the warehouse, I was taken very good care of, being washed, sanded, cleaned, and polished. In the end, I glowed with a bright shine. See how it's shining? With a bright finish. I enjoyed my time in the old warehouse, awaiting construction of my new home. But I was troubled not knowing if, when, and where I would finally be moved. Wayne County had been my home for a very long history, and I just didn't want to live nowhere else. For me, relief came when architects designed and created two brick kiosks that would be visible, one on the right and one on the left side of the building's expansive interior atrium. The news that a new home was being specially built for me, oh boy, it was fantastic. There, I could grace one of those brick kiosks and watch the busy goings on in our fine city. See the picture of the bell? Days before final completion of the new Wayne County Courthouse Annex in 1994, I was carefully placed upon that thick, comfortable rubber pad affixed to the top of my brick costume. It is here that I continue to live today. My ringing days are over, but I love greeting visitors each day and hope to be around for another eternity. In better years, of course. And that's the end of my story. I would like to make a few comments, if I may, pertaining to the story. Today, the bell has been the property of Wayne County for 165 years. Can you imagine? Oh, if we live that long, we'll be getting a little old too, won't we? But not patting myself on the back, but we took very good care of that bell. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with a bell, period. Back when I was a young 9, 8, 17-year-old, we formed, and our land went all the way to the creek. Across the creek, there was a man that had a dinner bell. What, 1925, not many people had watches. We were out there playing, but he'd ring that bell every day at 12 o'clock. Mr. Frank Smith, you ever talk about it, ring that bell every day at 12 o'clock. Daddy'd say, boys, let's go home. Let's go eat dinner. And so that was fascinating. Then when I went to work with the county in 1969, I saw that great bell sitting up there majestically. He looked like he wanted to say something to you, but he couldn't talk. Had a rope tied to him, as stated, and it ran through the window of the sheriff's office. And if Brother Tommy Jarrett, he told me he had to leave, but if he was practicing law back in those days, he'd have his client out under the oak tree talking with him because it's so hot in the courthouse. But at the proper time, the bell would be rung, they'd go back and call court into session, and so on and so on. And then I had people literally I was kind of overseeing the moving of the Health building and the other building that we moved, and the demolition of the annex. And the bell was obvious from a certain point on the street. And people would say, Shelton, what you going to do with that bell? I sure would love to have it. I said, well, I think we got some plans for it. So I felt that I better secure that bell. Better get him down. And so as T.A. Lovins mobilized to start the demolition, I backed my truck right up to the door. I called the foreman over. He came over. I said, sir, he knew who I was. I said, you see that bell up there? It's got to come down. He said, yeah, I know it. I said, I sure would love to have it in the back of this truck, and I would like to have it now. So he called a piece of equipment over, got it off, and put it in my truck, and I took off to the warehouse. In Long Den, we had people that served a little time in jail. We called them community service workers. And in my department, we had a half a dozen, so I'd give them some water and wet and dry sandpaper and soap, and they worked on that bell any chance they get. And it was pretty when we installed it. And so it's there for you to see. And also, I presented a copy of the book to Wayne County. And I stipulated, now this is not the county manager's book. This is not you commission. I want this to remain the property of the county manager's office from now on. Then I said, I have one more request. You remember the bell that's closed in with glass in the atrium? I said, I'd like to have permission to hang one of these books in that enclosure. Now think with me out of the box a little bit. Just supposedly now, the bell's been here 165 years. Just supposedly when I went up to get that bell, that I could have found a capsule that I could have took, and it was told me the year it was bought, where at, and how old it was. Wouldn't that have been thrilling to me? I said, now who knows? Chances are this atrium annex is going to come down 50, 60 years. I says, and it could be your grandson, great-great-grandson, that overseeing the construction and capture this book. How thrilled do you think he would be? And so they gave me permission, so I'm going to hang one in the enclosure. Are there any questions?
How long did it take you to write it?
How long? The book?
The story?
You know, it's very short. It takes long when you set your mind to do something. I wrote it longhand, 3 or 4 pages. And it wasn't that long, of course, obvious. And my son-in-law, he had published a book. He knew what to do, when to do, and how to do it. He said, Paul said, this will make a good book. So I had forgotten it. And so this past Father's Day, he had the book published. Of course, they had it printed. And all my children autographed it and gave me the book for Father's Day along with 50 more books. And they were the 50 that I've been giving away. And I presented 14 to the elementary school for their library. And now I'm in the process of getting a count on the Christian school's library and any other that I might think of. And I'm very thrilled over it. I could probably write 2 or 3 more, and I like it. I wrote it where Vail would be doing the talking. I didn't want to do the talking because he wouldn't know what I was talking about. So Mr. Wayne doing the talking. How many of you, are we limited for time? We need to be out in 5 minutes or what? Ma'am, we're good. I love history, obvious. And I'll let ask a few questions that you adults can answer it.
Other than the sheriff that rang the bell, were there any people that had that as their job to be an official bell ringer? Do you know if or just whoever happened to be there?
Well, see, I couldn't never find out for sure talking. But when I went to work with the county in 1969, it was in the process and it died out. The sheriff moved out of the building. But long then, like I say, there wasn't any air conditioning in the Superior Court room or nowhere in the courthouse. And ventilation was very important. And it was very important to get back in the court on time too. So they did that. But there's so much history out here, and I don't even know it. I'm 86-year-old, and I need to study a little more. But I'd rather do crossword puzzles or final word puzzles. But there's one more. How many of you ever been to Waynesboro Park? Most of you. And there again, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I was one of the first that was involved when we dug a boat ramp down on the river. That was 1988. Most of those buildings, I was instrumental in getting them moved and having them repaired. And we have one building that I thought about writing the history on, but I don't know where I get involved. The old Oddfellow Museum was, and I don't have the dates exactly. Well, I'm only mentioning the dates. It was originally a schoolhouse, one-room school, and when Grantham School was built, that closed down. And then they used it for a church and farmers, whatever. But the lady that owned the building, she donated it to Waynesboro Park and we moved it. It had a beautiful bell tower according to the pictures. In 1954, when Hurricane Hazel came through, it tore the bell tower off. And the owner of it, he was a young boy, he put the bell in their warehouse. He kept it all these years. And when we got the building, he said, Shelton says, I got the bell that goes with that building. I said, you have? So he gave me the bell, and me and my friend, we built the existing bell tower that's there now, and that bell's in the top of that. So that makes a good story. I don't know. I would ask and almost beg you. My wife and my daughter, we can kind of forget it, but you in grammar school, study when the train ran through Goldsboro. I used to get on the train at Dudley, get off at the station that she showed you the picture of and walk uptown to the movie. I woke up 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old. So this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful place to live. And you grow up, you may go in the Air Force, you may be sent to Birmingham, you may be sent to Florida, but your roots will be back here. You always probably want to come back where you do or not. So if you come back here, settle down, study about Wayne County, where it came from, and you will grow with amazements and knowledge. Ma'am, who asked that question? Yeah. Okay, I think I finished.
This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. We're on Channel 10, Time Warner Cable. We're also on Channel 99, AT&T UVerse. Pass the word around, okay? We want to let people know. And you know, people do know. Not enough, because we want to spread the word about all that we do here and what's going on in the Wayne County and Goldsboro area. But just about every day, people say, you know, I see you guys on TV, and they seem to enjoy the program. They seem to, anyway. Hope they do. Hope you do. Anyway, let's talk about catfishing. Actually, it's the Big Cat. It's a free event. It's prizes involved. This is for youngsters between the ages of 5 and 15. Now, if they don't know how to fish, I'll tell you what, this is a great opportunity for them, because Gary Bevel over at the Easy Bait and Tackle Shop, he loves to get kids involved with fishing. It's a great hobby. It's a great sport, and it's relaxing, and there's not enough good things you can say about fishing. It's great. But coming up on September 24th, which is very soon, at Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course, the Municipal Golf Course, there's going to be an event called the Big Cat, Kids Catfishing Tournament. Now, I don't know how they're going to fish for catfish on a golf course, but I think it's a great idea, and I'm sure that there's more to it than it says here on this piece of paper here. So between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., ages 5 to 15, at Goldsboro Parks and Recreation's Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course. You can call Goldsboro Parks and Rec to get information or to register at 919-739-7480, 919-739-7480, or you can register at Easy Bait and Tackle on Highway 117 South, just immediately, and in fact, almost next door to the river there, okay? All right. What is special about today?
What is special, Wayne?
I'm glad you asked. Today's the 15th of the month, and today is 8-track tape day.
Wow.
You know what an 8-track tape
Yes.
is? Do you? A lot of people don't know what an 8-track tape is. Do you have any 8-tracks?
No.
A lot of people still have some 8-track tapes. Yeah, and They were absolutely great. Anyway, today is Felt Hat Day. Felt hat. Some people wear felt hats. Not many, but some. Today is Greenpeace Day. It's International Dot Day, which is the middle name for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
Wayne Dot Alley. Pat Dot Garner. There's Dot Allsbrook. No, that is her name, isn't it? Anyway, there's International Day of Democracy is today. Today is National Cheese Toast Day. So toast cheese. Okay. Today is also, that's another day.
That's it.
That's another day. Today is That's Another Day day. Okay. All right, very good. Here's our trivia question for today. Think about this now. The category for today's trivia is body parts. And as you know, parts is parts. The question is, where is your hallux? Hallux. Where's your hallux? It's somewhere between the tip top of your head and the big old bottom of your feet there. Where is your hallux? Hall.
That was not a good clue.
That was not a good clue?
No.
What was wrong with that clue?
It could have been.
Well, I could have said, gee whiz, where's your hallux? It's in Phoenix. Or it's on the moon. No, it's not. It's somewhere on your body. Where is your hallux?
Okay.
Okay? That's the question. I'll have the answer for you in the next segment of the program, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. Sergeant Paige Leonard of Crime Stoppers returns and tells us about the latest crime of the week. How are you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right, what's going on?
Well, July 25th, we had a resident in the area of 308 Wilmington Avenue report some items stolen from their property. The officers got there fairly quickly. The items were a ladder, a drill, and a skill saw.
Oh.
And obviously, after their investigation, they were able to determine the suspect was, which is a Jerome Caesar. So this week, we've got Jerome Caesar's picture that we have brought to share with the public.
And there he is.
And we're hoping that somebody will see Mr. Jerome Caesar walking the streets and give us a call. And if you see this gentleman walking the streets, just call. You can call 911. They might refer you over to the non-emergency line, but give us a call right then, and we'll get officers to the area he's at and hopefully get our hands on him. And he's got 2 warrants for felony breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering. And obviously, I can pay cash for those warrants. So if somebody would give us a call and let us know his location, we will be glad to serve those warrants on him.
And when you say you can pay cash for those warrants, that means as a part of the Crime Stoppers
That's right.
reward program.
These are felony charges, so it makes it eligible
Right.
to where I can pay a cash reward if they're the caller that gives us his location.
And the numbers to call, 919-735-2255, or you can text at 919-222-4230. Or you can go to the TipSoft.
That's right.
Is that it?
You got it.
TipSoft.
So they can go to the Goldsboro Police Department Facebook page and just look at the Submit a Tip button.
All right.
It's encrypted, and they can type up the tip. They can add pictures. They can, put whatever information they want to put in there, and it automatically assigns them a number. So they can call me back on the line to kind of check on the status of their tip. But, once again, it's encrypted. That means basically we just cannot figure out who sent the email through the TipSoft.
Which means that the software actually codes everything to where it's
Not
unintelligible.
traceable.
It's not traceable.
Right.
She cannot, Officer Leonard cannot tell you or tell anybody who you are. She has no idea who you are, where you are, from where you're calling. So that protects you, and it protects the city as well,
That's right.
and Crime Stoppers as well.
It protects them that way. It still lets them report it anonymously. And, we obviously, when they pick up their rewards, I don't know who they are. We never ask for a real name. We just use a code name or a code number.
Right.
And makes it a very simple process.
So that means it's paid in cash.
That's right.
It's paid in cash.
Now, who cannot use cash?
I'll work on that.
Okay.
919-735-2255, 919-222-4230, or go online to the Goldsboro Police Department Facebook page which everybody can access,
Right.
and go to the TipSoft tip line. Okay.
Yep.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Crime Stoppers Coordinator Sergeant Paige Leonard. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. We're back, and we thank you very much for being with us. Today is Thursday. That means tomorrow.
It's Friday.
That's what I was going to say. Tomorrow is Friday, and another day, right?
It's the weekend.
Yay! All right. Coming up on the September 21st, and we're going to be there for this.
Okay.
We're going to videotape this. Dr. Kasbari is a hematologist and medical oncologist at Southeastern Medical Oncology Center. That's on Cox Boulevard in Goldsboro near the hospital, is going to present a program in the Live Well series at the hospital, the Live Well series, presenting the latest in cancer prevention, diagnosis and treatment, including clinical trials available in eastern North Carolina. The program begins at 6 at Wayne Memorial Hospital in the cafeteria, which is on the ground floor. There is access, wheelchair access, and there's steps that lead down. You just park in the parking lot there. Don't even go in the hospital. You go down the steps right into the cafeteria. And it begins at 6, and this is about cancer, clinical trials, and you. Let's talk about voting. Can we talk about voting?
Yeah.
All right, talk about it.
The Wayne County Board of Elections is coming up on November the 8th, which is for everybody, but starting on October the 20th, you can start voting at the Wayne County Board of Elections, which is at 209 South Wilm Street.
Now, that's the only place you can vote, right?
Yes.
The only place you can vote early for 7 days, starting on the 20th,
Yes.
is at the Board of Elections office, 209 South William.
Yes. Starting October the 27th, you can go to Goldsboro Worship Center, Little River Shopping Center, New Hope Friends Church, the Mount Olive Train Depot, and Fremont Town Hall to vote, starting
Excellent.
on the 27th.
On the 27th. So that's a total of 6 places on the 27th. And you can vote, just pick a day of the week.
Yes.
One of 7 days. They're going to be open every day of the week. Times will vary. Okay? Times will vary. So you can go online and get the times. What's that website address?
WayneVotes.com.
WayneVotes.com. WayneVotes.com. And you can get all that information about where these where these places are that you can vote, or you can call the Board of Elections office, 919-731-1411, 731-1411 to get information.
Or you can also go to WayneVotes.com, download your ballot, and mail it back in.
You know, that's right. That's exactly right. You can vote by mail. You don't have to leave your house. Now, they'll verify everything, and your vote will count, but you don't even have to leave the house.
That's right.
If you would prefer voting from the comfort of your home, you can do that by simply contacting or going online, like you said, at WayneVotes.com. Download the ballot. You have to give the address and all that so that you'll get the right ballot. You fill out the ballot. Do your homework first. Know for whom you're voting. And then mail your ballot back in, and it'll be counted. You don't even have to leave your house. That's so convenient.
It is.
Unreal. They sure try to make it easy for you. There you go. And the day of the election is November 8th. Big Sweep 2016 is coming up, the watershed cleanup. Now this will be cleaning up watersheds of trash. Watersheds with trash. Now the concerned citizens of Wayne County is who's putting this all together, with a lot of help from the Scouts and the 4-H and the school clubs and churches in the area. They're all going to be involved with this, and individuals as well. If you'd like to help, you don't have to belong to any organization. You just go and help. It's all going to be done here in Wayne County on the 1st of the month of October between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. And you go to the Cliffs of the New State Park. Cliffs of the New State Park, and that's where they're going to be cleaning up this time. Now, in North Carolina, the entire state will be observing the Big Sweep between September 17th and October 1st. But now here in Wayne County, October 1st, and if you have any questions, you can call Barbara. Barbara Byers' number is 919-731-1527, 731-1527. Or you can email her at barbara.byers@waynegov.com. See, there's another one. Her middle name's Dot. How about that? Barbara.Byers. Here we go. If you have prescription drugs around your house, or in fact any drug, non-prescription, prescription, whatever, and they're not used, they're outdated, or if you just don't want them, do not pour them down the sink. Do not pour them down the toilet. Take them to Berkeley Mall, to the main entrance. You don't even have to get out of your car, but take them to the Berkeley Mall main entrance next to the K&W. Drive by, stop at the booth, and they'll collect it right out of your car for you. Between 10 o'clock and noon on September 24th, unused, unwanted, or outdated medicines. If you pour it down the sink or down the drain or down the toilet, it could get into the water system. Not just one bottle, but imagine everybody, thousands of people's doing this. Think of thousands of people doing this. It could really contaminate the water supply, so we don't want to do that, okay? So take it by there, or you don't want to throw it away, end up in the landfill, still contaminating the ground. That's September 24th between 10 and noon, okay?
And that's part of Kids Fest.
Kids Fest, part of Kids Fest. Boy, that's going to be a big day too.
Yeah.
That's the same day, September 24th, Kids
Yes.
Fest. And we
At
got
Berkeley Park.
to get John on here to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Here's a biggie that I love. Twice a year, the Shriners put on a fish fry. And this time of year, the fall fish fry is a fish fry that benefits children's hospitals. The Shriners Children's Hospitals. Now, I've been running all kinds of stuff on this channel about what the Shriners do in helping people in the hospitals, the children's hospitals. And a lot of those patients in the children's hospitals actually come from Wayne County. There's a bunch of them there. But they're always looking for more, right? So when you go to the fish fry on September 30th, talk to a Shriner. If you know of a child who needs help medically, then, or for that matter, anything. If a child needs help with health problems, they have deformities, if they have cleft palate, if they're burned in some way, if they have scars in some way, talk to a Shriner. They want to help. It won't hurt you, it won't cost you. Just talk to a Shriner and they can tell you what you need to do, okay? But the next fish fry that will benefit the Shriners Children's Hospital will be September 30th, lunch at 11 till 2, and 4 till 7 p.m. Fried fish, coleslaw, potato salad, and oh boy, is it good. It is good. And if you eat in at Herman Park Center, well, you get a glass of tea or a glass of water with that. All right, and then you sit down and you talk to a bunch of people while you're eating. That's fun. But that's the eat-in. Now, there's two locations you can drive through. One is Herman Park itself, by the fountain. And the other location is in Mount Olive, in the southern end of the county, right across from Highway 55's Mount Olive Center. Mount Olive Center, across the street from Food Lion there. And right next to Robert's Machine Shop. That's coming up on the 30th, and I hope to see you there. I'm going to eat both. I'm going to have lunch and dinner that day. And if you can give a little extra, that would certainly be appreciated. Hope you can do that. Okay, gee whiz, we are so out of time. Let's do this. Yeah, we're out of time. We got to go. Coming up is another day. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow will be another day. Let's give the answer to the trivia question. Where's your hallux? That's the trivia question for today. It's a body part. Any ideas? Your hallux is your big toe. Ta-da! Ooh, I stumped my hallux. Ooh. Let's do this again tomorrow. We'll be back in here at 7 a.m. Hope you're able to join us at that time. In the meantime, have a great day. Until tomorrow, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.